Hello, my name is Simon and welcome to Retro Revisited. Let's face up to facts, the SNES Mini is going to happen. But let's face up to grimmer facts, it won't have all the games you want on it. But which 5 titles should be on there, but definitely won't be? Well, I'm glad you asked. First up, it's Uni Rally. Truly memorable racing games were few and far between on the SNES, unlike the N64, which had shed loads of classics in the genre. But Uni Rally, or Uniracers for those of you in the US, makes a real impression. A game where you control unicycles across 2D courses would be hard to forget though, admittedly. It's far better than its novel setup would suggest, with some enjoyable track design and a real sense of character. The instruction manual alone is worth the price of admission, as it includes an impassioned rant about frozen pizzas. No, I am not joking. Sadly, it's almost certainly not going to be on the SNES Mini, as Pixar, yes Pixar, sued its developer DMA Design back in 1995 for allegedly copying the unicycle design and concept from its animated short called Red Dream. You know, the one with the unicycle in it. The Disney subsidiary ended up winning the case, and Nintendo had to subsequently terminate production of any further Uni Rally cartridges. Mike Daly, one of the developers at DMA Design, said that the problem with Pixar was that they seemed to think that any computer-generated unicycle was owned by them. Second, it's Super Tennis. This is the best tennis game ever made. No arguments now, I made a whole video about this. But to summarise, Super Tennis feels, sounds and plays an almost immaculate version of the sport and has not been bettered to this day. The reason why this masterpiece may not be on the SNES Mini though is that it has never seen the light of day on any virtual console Nintendo has been behind, be it on the Wii, 3DS or Wii U. The game has no licensed characters, tournaments or irritating celebrity commentators, so I can't actually see the reason why it wouldn't be included. It won't be though, mark my words. There is a chance Nintendo just don't like tennis that much anymore too. This view is certainly supported by the fact that the Japanese company's 8-bit rendition of the sport wasn't on the NES Classic Mini, even though to be fair, that title is a load of bobbins. There's also the fact that Nintendo are destroying the Mario Tennis series slowly and systematically. It's not pleasant to watch. Next up, it's Plock. Possibly one of the most unfortunate games of all time, Plock was unfairly buried in an era where the 2D platformer wasn't just king, it was an all-powerful dictator that crushed all opposition genres in its sight. Starring a character who has detachable limbs that can be used to both traverse colourful environments and also attack a range of bizarre enemies, Plock is a game that may not be perfect, but it has British charm by the bucket load. It also has a truly excellent soundtrack, one which allegedly had Shigeru Miyamoto's jaw on the floor in amazement. Sadly, this is a gem that will remain firmly hidden, as one of the game's developers, Steve Pickford, has mentioned on Twitter that the source code for the title has been lost. As Plock himself might say, "We've been diddled again." Moving on, it's Rock and Roll Racing. I know I said memorable racing games were few and far between on the SNES. Here's me saying it again if you don't believe me. Truly memorable racing games were few and far between on the SNES. See? But forget that, as Rock and Roll Racing is worthy of inclusion on this list as well. An isometric entry in the genre, it was the 16-bit era's RC Pro AM in my eyes. It's fast-paced, controls well, and has some simple yet effective track design. But why won't it be on the SNES Mini, I hear you cry? Well, the game actually uses some adorably toned-down versions of classic rock tunes as its soundtrack, including hits such as Bad to the Bone and Highway Star, and now the music license has expired for those tunes, so the game is effectively stuck in limbo, never to be revived again. Rest in peace, amusingly tinny version of Born to be Wild. Rest in peace. Finally, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Arguably the best side-scrolling brawler of the 16-bit era, Turtles in Time manages to capture what is so good about the arcade version and shrinks it down onto the home console. Sadly, the game's developer, Konami, lost the Turtles license to Activision back in 2012, so you won't be seeing this game on the SNES Mini. If you need more proof of this, which you don't really, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES was removed from the Wii's Virtual Console a few years ago. All in all, it's totally unfair we won't see this superlative game rediscovered by a new generation. Right, that's all we've got time for today, but please do give this video a like, subscribe, call to action, etc. Also be sure to look out for the upcoming 5-year anniversary special edition of the Retro News Roundup, out on the 1st of May. Until then, bye for now.
Rip is about to blow!